Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Fletcher Farm Virtual Chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are here joining us today to meet Farmer Nicole and, of course, our adorable adopted calves, Capri, Demi, Diane, and Shine. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the New England Dairy Association and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you so much for both of those organizations for making today possible. First, this chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. And for anyone that's new to Discover Dairy or the Adopt a Cow program, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while using dairy concepts to teach those lessons. If you're interested in learning more or accessing those resources, you can go to discoverdairy.com. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're interested in joining again or new to the program, registration is open already for next year. You can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt to register for next year's program. And we'll go ahead and drop that in the live chat for you for that link so you have easy access to that. Again, it's discoverdairy.com/adopt. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you will see that that chat feature is enabled and available for you to use. Please keep using that as your way to communicate with us. Go ahead and comment, ask questions for Farmer Nicole throughout the tour and throughout our chat. Just please keep in mind that your questions and comments should be related to the chat and school appropriate. We are really excited to hear your questions, and I know Farmer Nicole is excited to answer them, so continue using that. And before we jump over to Farmer Nicole, I'm going to see who's joining us and give a little shout out to some of you that are on live. So first, the first one that joined us this morning or this afternoon was Miss Bruce from Franklin, Massachusetts. So hello, welcome to Miss Bruce and her class. We're excited to have you. We have Mrs. Eddie's third grade class in Thornton Elementary in Johnston, Rhode Island. So hello, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's see, jumping down here a little bit, we've got a third grade class from Warwick, and they adopted Demi. Hello, welcome. We've got Mrs. Sullivan's third grade class from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Welcome, and they adopted Capri. And let's see, two more down here. We've got some folks from Haverhill, Massachusetts, and some folks from Chester, Massachusetts. So we are so excited to have you all today. Oh, and some from in Fall River, Massachusetts. So thank you so much for joining us. I know there's many more that are on today that may not have said where you're from, but hello, welcome. And anyone that's watching this on replay, please go ahead and let us know you're watching this on replay. Go ahead and comment in the comment section of this video. We'd love to see where you're from, and you can use that comment section to ask questions as well. We will do our best to get back to you in the next couple of weeks as once this is posted. So with that, we are pleased to introduce you to Farmer Nicole from Southampton, Massachusetts. Hey, Farmer Nicole, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great, and we're excited to see you and get to meet you finally in person, or as real as it can be, and get to meet our calves. So I will let you take it away and introduce you and your farm.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And thank you everybody for joining us. We're really excited to present the calves to you today. We've been having a lot of fun sending you all their information all year long, and they've certainly grown up. So welcome to Fletcher Farm. We're located in Southampton, Massachusetts. So Western Mass, for those of you guys out closer to Boston and Rhode Island, we're a little ways away from you, but I know we do have a lot of local schools nearby to us here. So really glad to have you all join us. Here in Southampton, we milk about 80 cows. They are primarily Holstein and Jersey cows, so the black and white cows and the brown cows. And we have an additional 80 young animals, so calves and heifers. So plenty of cows to keep us busy here. I am the fourth generation farmer on my farm. I farm with my younger brother, Matthew, and my dad, Bob. My family also has a seasonal roadside stand that my mom, sister, and brother-in-law run. So we do pick your own pumpkins in the fall. We do Christmas trees. And right now everyone's getting their gardens ready. We're selling compost and cow manure to get everyone's tomato plants going. And so we're certainly busy here. We have a lot going on, but we are just so excited to welcome you all. We have a lot of schools that come to visit us for field trips. I know some of my adopt-a-calf schools are coming next month and this month to see us, and we're really excited to have you come out and be here in person. So we're definitely excited to be here today. Our milk ships to Agrimark, so we're part of the Cabot Cooperative. So if you like Cabot cheese, put Cabot whipped cream on your ice cream, that's our milk in there. So we're very proud of that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to repeat that because I think that's a pretty neat fact. If anyone buys Cabot products, that could be coming from the mothers of our adopted calves, which is pretty darn cool. I absolutely love that. Very, very neat. Very cool way to be able to support our local farms and, of course, your adopted cow family. So very cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll give you guys a little bit of update on your calves. So as you guys are all aware, they were born in September. So they're getting big. They're about Shine is the biggest. So she is right there, the tall black heifer. She is in the 500 pound range now. She's actually the oldest as well. Yep, that's her. She's the boss. We've actually moved them into this pen today so you guys can see them better. They currently live in a group with about 15 other calves their same age. Shine is the oldest of the group. And then down here laying down, we have Diane. She's the youngest of the group. And actually, some of you may not know this, but she was actually born 3 weeks early last September. Wow. So she's been trying to catch up to Shine all this time. And I was just joking around. Diane is a little bit antisocial. She doesn't really like the spotlight, but Shine does. I'm sure she's going to make her way over here shortly. And then we have Capri over here munching her lunch. She is about 400 pounds, and she and her buddy over there, Demi, laying down, those are our Jerseys. So they're a little smaller than the Holsteins. When they get mature, they're only between 800 and 900 pounds, whereas the Holsteins will get upwards of 1,500 pounds. And actually, Shine's mom and grandma are two of our largest cows here on the farm. They're the tallest and the longest of, I think, most of the herd. So wow. I expect her to be a pretty big mama when she gets older. Yeah. So these guys right now, they're approaching teenage time. They're once they get to be a year old, we kind of consider them a teenager. And at that point, they will be getting ready to be bred. We usually start looking at them, when they're between that 12 and 15 month range, as long as they're well grown, to have them have their first calf between about 2 and 2.5 years. And at that point, they will join our milking herd and join their mothers, making that delicious milk so we can all have cheese for our pizza and whipped cream for very important jobs they've got coming up here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that sounds so delicious. I cannot wait until they're old enough for that. And just as a recap, so you had said when they're 2 years old or about 2 years old is when they'll get to join the milking herd. So to clarify, they don't produce milk right now, right?
Right, correct. Yep, they're just hanging out right now. Their number one goal right now is to eat food and grow, and they certainly are. And I'm very happy with how they look now. They're good size for their age. And actually, a fun fact: Capri there, who's attacking the camera, Capri and Shine are actually going to be making their way out. They have a busy summer planned. They have been leased by some local 4-H kids, and they are going to be heading out to all the county fairs and be shown this summer. So as you can see, they both have their hair cut. They got their spring hairdo last week, and they're getting ready to have a big summer of adventures. Aww. So if anyone's out in the Western Mass area and you happen to be out at any of the fairs, look them up because they'll be out there, and they'll be exhibited by some really great kids this summer. So they have kind of a special summer planned.
Awesome. That's like their summer vacation, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty cool. Do you show all of your cows, or is it just a couple of them that are used for projects?
We do. So I have about 5 4-H kids that lease calves for me all summer. So there's 12 animals leased with the 4-H kids. And then I do take some of my own out as well. And when we take them out, we just try to pick the ones that are like both Capri and Shine, their moms were shown. They have family members that were shown. So we try to pick ones that are kind of the fancier, the prettiest ones. You sort of want to pick the ones that represent their breed the best, and then go out and compete against other farmers. And it's sort of a fun hobby. And the 4-H kids, you should see them. They get haircuts, they get baths. The cows get their hoofs shined up, their tails fluffed, and it's like a beauty pageant for cows. So when they come back to the farm after that, they look so fancy.
Right. Yeah, I was just about about to say, my goodness, it sounds like they have a beauty pageant to get ready for,
It is.
which is pretty cool.
Yep. Diane over here would not like that because she's not a fan of being bothered, but the others, I think they're going to be excited for it. So.
Oh, that's awesome. We had a question from someone, and I know we're seeing on Munch on some hay right now. Someone was asking if they're drinking milk right now. So do you want to just talk about maybe what they're eating and drinking right now?
Sure. So they are not drinking milk any longer. So when they are babies, so those first pictures we sent you guys, when they're out in the calf hutches, they get their milk from birth to about 12 weeks old. And then at that point, they're eating enough solid food to be weaned off the milk. We don't wean them off until they're eating a couple pounds of grain a day. They're eating hay, and they're drinking a lot of water. We want to make sure that they have enough other nutrition to fulfill their needs. But they'll get the milk for 12 weeks, and at that point, they'll eat the solid foods. And at this point, and now at their age that they're at now, they eat their hay, but they're also getting a mix. We call it a total mixed ration, a TMR, and it's basically chopped up grass, a little bit of chopped up corn, and some grain, all mixed up into their lunch. So it's like a salad for them, and they get all their nutrition that way. And they'll get that as they're growing up, and then when they become a milking cow, they get a different version of that. So a lot of solid food. Right now, they're probably eating about 20 pounds ish of food a day. Probably Shine's eating a little more than those Jerseys are, but yep, they eat a lot and they drink a lot of water too. So and on a nice warm day like today, you certainly notice them at the water tub a little bit more.
Wow.
So, yep.
20 pounds of food a day. No wonder they're getting so big. That's a lot,
yeah.
a lot of food.
Yeah.
In one day.
Yep. And you can definitely, you can see them. They're going right for it. The hay is they like the hay, especially because it's a sweet feed. It's got a little bit, it's grass. So it's a really sweet thing to eat. And they get right after it. So
that's awesome.
Plus they like to just pick at it.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. You mentioned this TMR and you talked about what's in it. So it sounds like this is a pretty detailed meal for them. Is there someone special that helps you make this meal happen?
Yep. So we have a nutritionist that comes out to the farm every 2 weeks, and what he does is he balances their food every time he comes out to make sure that every age group on the farm is getting the correct nutrition for their age. So like the heifers here don't need the same nutrition as the milking herd. The milking herd needs a really high energy diet because they're like athletes. They're producing milk. They've got a job and they need that extra energy to do that. Whereas these calves, they're kind of lazy and they just need to eat and grow. They don't need to do anything else. So that nutritionist will come out and make sure that everybody's getting what they need for their age, their size, and their stage of life. And it's really important that they come out. They sample all the food and make sure the feed has the right quality. And it's really farmers rely on their nutritionists so much to make sure that the animals are healthy.
Yeah, gosh, I wish I had my own personal nutritionist.
Me
Maybe
too.
I'd actually, win a beauty contest or something.
Me too. I don't think if I had a nutritionist, he'd be very impressed with my current ration, honestly. I could do better.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have too much ice cream in my diet.
Yeah, yeah. I think I like chocolate too much, so they would probably not be impressed with me.
Right. Oh, that's funny. We're talking a little bit about, that you needed a special ration for those milking cows. So someone actually asked, Miss Todd asked, why are the calves not milked? Like, why are they at 7 months old not getting milked?
Because that is not their role in life yet. They're still kids. They are just hanging out and growing, and they won't be milking until they have their first calf. So they won't even, you can't even see an udder on them yet. They're just little udders. They aren't full of milk. They're just immature young girls here. They are just hanging out, and that's fine because we want them to grow and get everything they need to be a good size before they have that calf. We want them to be, tall, and we want them to be strong, and certainly we want them to be ready to go ahead and have a calf and then be part of the milking herd.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So they're just having fun right now.
Right. They're living life right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. We had another good question come in. We are, kind of looking at Shine here and looking at the Jersey here, and we can see their number tag in their one ear, but we also see this like little white button in the other ear. Do you want to talk about what that is for and why they have it in their ear?
Certainly. So identification is really important when you have a lot of cows, especially like, for example, these 4 calves were all born right together, like within the same week. And so certainly I know who they are, but it's important that we identify them so that as they get older and they join a bigger group, we can pick them apart and from one another. So you can see the Jerseys have the red tag, and the Holsteins have the purple tags, and those are basically just it has their birthday, it has their dad's name, and our herd number for them. But then the white tag on the other side, that is called an RFID button. And what that is, it's a microchip, and that is, each calf gets one at birth, and it's their unique number, and it's only theirs. And so what that does is, if they were to ever leave the farm for any reason, like when these guys go out to the show, the minute they get to the show, someone's going to scan that tag and it's going to say, yep, they came from Fletcher Farm. And that way, if they ever leave to go to another state, no matter where they go, they can be traced back here. And that's really important because it's a food safety thing. So and an identification thing. We want to know where all these animals in our country have been. We want to know where they're from. And so they get those, and it's kind of neat. It's just like when people microchip their dog or cat, we just put it in their ear.
That's very cool. And just to clarify, the putting them in their ear, what's that feel like for a cow? Maybe compared to what it would feel like for a human.
It's just like getting your ears pierced. So they get these when they're little. Before they get their tag, I clean the ear with rubbing alcohol, make sure it's nice and clean, make sure the tag has been cleaned, and then pop it in. And it's basically the same as if you were to go and get your ears pierced today. And it heals over, and
very cool.
They just wear the same earrings all the time. We can change ours out.
Right. Yeah, we get to change ours, but I guess
we get to jazz it up a little.
Clothing, so I guess their coat stays the same, so their earrings
right.
Match.
Yep.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. That makes sense, and that's I can it's very clear that you would need a good way of being able to keep track of all these cows. It's a lot of cows to keep track of. I think you said you're milking 80 cows. You said that in the beginning.
Yes.
What does that mean? How many head of cattle do you have total on your farm in addition to those milking cows?
So altogether, there's about 160 cows here.
Wow.
So we're about 50-50 between the mamas and the young ones. So enough to keep 3 of us pretty busy.
Yeah, I would say so. That's a lot of cows to keep track of. And so you said there's 3 of you. Do you have any other employees on the farm, or is it pretty much just your family that runs the farm?
My family pretty much runs the farm. We occasionally will have like a co-op student from the local high school. Right now, I have a pre-vet student from UMass that's helping me out a couple nights a week milking the cows. And a lot of the time with that, it's actually young people that want to get some large animal experience and learn about animals, and maybe they're considering a career going forward, working with cows or horses or something. And if you want to be a vet, you definitely want to come in and make sure you like animals and make sure that you know how to work around them. So we are really fortunate that we get people that want to come in and sort of try that out. And so that's fun for us to teach them.
I was gonna say, it's an awesome opportunity for you guys to be a teacher, but then also for the students to get that experience. So thank you for opening your farm for that, because they wouldn't get that experience if it wasn't for you. So that's pretty cool partnership. We've had another question come in. So we talked a little bit about how much they weighed. So you said, maybe Shine's pushing a little somewhere in 500s and the Jerseys are a little bit less. But do you know how tall approximately they might be, maybe in inches or feet or anything like that?
Well, I'm going to stand right next to Shine here, and I am 5'3", and she's catching up to me pretty fast.
I was going to say, she's getting almost on your shoulders.
I'm not very tall, but she's going to be. And I can tell you that Shine's mom stands about here on me. Her back is right here. So probably within a year, she's going to close in on that. So
wow.
The Jerseys are a few inches behind them, but we're at 4 feet here. So
I was gonna say, 4 feet. That's what I was looking at. Wow, that's tall.
Yep.
Let's see. We had some other good questions coming in here. Oh, so Miss Sullivan was wondering, how many Jersey cows do you have on your farm? And maybe do you want to just touch on what makes a Jersey and a Holstein? Like, what does that mean to be a Jersey or a Holstein?
So our herd is about 2/3 Holstein, 1/3 Jersey. So our Jerseys there's not as many of them, but they certainly make themselves known. The Jerseys have a real personality. That's kind of why I enjoy them. They are very mischievous. They are troublemakers. They are very funny. They have funny habits. They like to play with their tongues. They know how to open gates. They are definitely the troublemakers of the herd. And they don't get as big, you know, as I said, they only get to like 800 or 900 pounds, but they're plenty of sass in that 900 pounds when they get there. And the Jerseys, their milk is high in butter fat. So if you're making products like butter or ice cream, their milk is really, really good for that. And they don't make maybe as much as the Holsteins, but it's a really rich milk. And the Holsteins, they can get anywhere, you know, when these calves are born, they're 100 pounds. They're big calves, and then they get up to, like I said, 1,500 pounds to almost 2,000 pounds, some of them. And they're tall and they're big, and they make a lot of milk. The herd in the United States, most of the cows are Holsteins. They're good milk producers. They're really solid, healthy cows, and people enjoy working with them and milking them. They're maybe not as mischievous as their brown counterparts over here, but yeah, so we have those two breeds. We like them. They think they go well together. They're a good. I think the Holsteins maybe try to keep the Jerseys in line a little. So although Shine's pushing me around in here, she's mad because I'm not giving her enough pets.
Yeah, she definitely is like, hello.
Yeah, she's like, I'm right here. Hello. So.
Oh goodness. So to help explain just one step further, then they're all cows. That's just like all dogs are all dogs. It's just a German Shepherd and a Shih Tzu. They're still a dog, even though they're different breeds. So they're just different breeds.
Gotcha. Yep, and every breed has their different characteristics. There are 7 dairy breeds in the country. So some of them are gray, some of them are gold. They're all different. So it depends on, every farm has their own preference as to what kind of breed they have, and ours just happen to be Holstein and Jersey.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Farmer Nicole.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
A really good question from Jackson was wondering, what does the milking process feel like for a cow? Is it painful? Is it relaxing? What's it like for a cow?
That's a great question. So when the cows come into milk, we want to keep the cows, you want them to always be relaxed. And when they come into milk, they know it's milking time. They get milked twice a day here. Every 12 hours they're milked. So in the morning and in the evening they get milked, and they when they come in, they get a scoop of grain, so they know when they're coming in that they're going to get a snack. And then they when they get in their stall, we'll prep them. They'll take their an iodine solution, and we'll dip it on each of their 4 teats and then wipe it off. And then for a minute, it will sanitize the teats, and then the machine will get put on, and it usually takes them between 5 and 10 minutes to completely milk, and then they're back to their day. So we really only bother them for about 20 minutes a day with milking. And when they're done milking, we dip them again with a teat dip that protects the teats and make sure that they are sanitized until the next milking. And so it's a low key thing. They come in, they get their grain and milk, and then they go back out and back to their lives.
Wow. So 20 minutes that they're in there, they leave, then they get to enjoy the other 23 hours and 40 minutes of their life, which is just incredible. So they really, outside of milking, then they really just eat, sleep, hang out with their herd mates. That's about it.
If you're a Jersey, you cause trouble, but other than that, pretty low key day.
Wow. That's awesome. So it's a relaxing process for them. They enjoy it. They like it, which tends, some folks I'm sure have heard a misconception. So thank you for clarifying that, Farmer Nicole, that they actually enjoy that process. And I think I would like to be a cow, because I would like to only have to work 20 or 40 minutes a day.
Yep. You can do pretty much anything else the rest of the day. So.
Awesome. We have a question from Mrs. Eddie's class. They would like to know if cows can see different colors than humans, or maybe only certain colors. Do we happen to know what their sight is like?
They can't see all the colors that we can see. I do know that they have good vision. They're certainly able to. They're pretty quick. They're very perceptive animals. They use their senses. Their strongest sense is actually sense of smell. They can smell up to 6 miles away. They have a really, like, if you're cutting fresh hay two towns over and they can smell it. I mean, they're good about that. But yeah, they can see green, they can see red. They can't see probably, certain bright colors of turquoise or something, but they get the basics, what they need.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah. We've got some folks asking, do you know who your I think you might have said this earlier, who your tallest cow is, but do you know who your tallest cow is, and maybe your like biggest, like just how heavy that big cow it was that you had on the
Yeah.
farm?
Yeah, our tallest cow is actually, she's a cow named Lexi, and we have her nicknamed as, we just call her White. She is this monstrous, big older cow. She's 8 years old, and when I stand next to her, she makes me look like a little kid. And when she puts her head up, she looks like a giraffe, and I can't even reach the top of her head when she puts it up. And I don't know why she's so big, because her mama wasn't super big, but for whatever reason, she is huge. And we love her. She's like a big dog. She's a big sweetheart, but she is so big. And the problem with her being so big is she has one bad habit that she does, and it is she likes to dip her toes in our water tubs in the summertime when it's hot out. And so having your biggest cow trying to take a bath in the water tub when it's hot is not a good thing. So she's pretty funny, but she does it because she's so tall that she can step right into it.
Just step in it. Oh my goodness, that is too funny.
Oh yes.
Oh, they like to have their own personalities.
They do. They do. Every cow has their own. They're just like they all have their own personality. Some of them are really shy. Some of them are very outgoing. These two Jerseys here are showing theirs off right now. They just want to be petted. They want to know why I'm not petting them, but they all have their own way about them.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. Now these girls are about 7 months old. When they were just born, when did they start to walk? Like how soon do they like start life?
Usually they're up within 20 minutes. Some of the calves literally are like born and they're like, let's go. And they just jump right up. And that's a good sign. When the calves are born, you want to see a vigorous calf. You want to see them have, be alert, be energetic. You want to see them get right up and try to nurse their mama right away. That shows you that they're healthy. And especially if they're born in the colder weather, you really want to get them up and let that mom as quick as possible. That's an important thing. But yeah, they are rugged animals. They get up and they get right for it. And then they want to eat. That's the first thing they want to do. They want to stand up and they want to nurse. So they have their priorities.
They do. And they grew up so fast, and I cannot believe how big they are. And very clearly you've been taking excellent care of them, Farmer Nicole. They love you, and so they know who takes care of them for sure. And they just seem so relaxed and calm, and we've just really enjoyed getting to see them hang out with you today. I'll wrap up with a couple questions here, but so we're gonna get ready to wrap up soon. But we had someone asking, where'd it go? Oh, someone was asking if cows bite at all. Is that something that they do? We've seen them kind of like nibbling at you a little bit. So we were wondering if they bite at all.
So the funny thing about cows is they don't actually have, let me see if I can show you. I don't know. They don't really have teeth. They don't have teeth on the top jaw. You can't really see it here, but they only have top teeth in the back so that they can munch their food. So they have teeth all along the bottom, but then the top is just it's just gums. So if you were to just like stick your finger right here in her mouth, she couldn't just like chomp down and bite on you. But if you stuck your fingers way in her mouth, which I don't know why you would, but if you did, and she chomped down on your finger in the back, you would know it.
Oh boy,
because they need good strong teeth in the back to munch all that food.
Sure.
But if they were just nibbling at you with their lips, they wouldn't bite you. No.
Interesting. Well, good
Which
to
is
know.
good.
Then I guess all that nibbling on you probably were just more antagonized or annoyed than anything. It wasn't painful. So
yeah. Well, and they always want to lick. They're always looking for they like salt. They like sweet and they like salt, just like people. So they're always trying to get those flavors.
Oh my goodness. And we had another good question. We were talking a little bit about how your products go to Cabot, I believe. They were wondering how the milk physically gets there. Like how does it get from your farm to then the dairy products on the grocery store? Where's that middle transaction happen?
That's a good question. So our milk gets picked up every other day. A milk truck comes here and pumps the milk out of our holding tanks. While the milk is here, we keep it at 38 degrees. It's in a stainless steel big tank. They'll come and take the milk, and we are very close to one of the processing plants. It's only about 20 minutes away, so the milk goes there, and within 2 days, if it's going for gallons of milk, within 2 days it's in your store. It's very
Wow.
quick because it's a perishable product, right? So you want it to go and you want it to get there fast. And if it's going, so our milk sometimes gets made into butter, sometimes it gets made into ice cream, sometimes it goes for fluid milk. So it depends on where the need is, and they'll take it to whichever location it needs to go to be made into a product. But when it leaves here, it goes on that truck, and then when it gets unloaded, they start processing right away. And it's a pretty quick process, which is good because we want to get everybody the freshest dairy products we can.
Yeah. Wow. 2 days. That's incredible.
Yep. 2 days from cow to shelf.
Yeah, I like that. It sounds like my dairy products are healthy and fresh, and clearly coming from a really well-loved cows and a very clean farm. So, Farmer Nicole, thank you so much for just being a great farmer. And as we wrap up today, I do have one last question for you. We've been talking a lot about what you do to take care of these cows and how you do it, but I'd love to know why. Why have you chosen to be a dairy farmer? Why have you chosen to do what you do? I know you don't get much vacation doing this. So what's your purpose behind being a dairy farmer?
Well, I mean, I grew up around the animals, but I knew when I was pretty young that I loved working with them. My why would be that I want to give them a good life and take as good care of them as I possibly can. Cows are such a cool animal. They are, they're, like I said, they're smart, they're mischievous, I think they're pretty. I personally think they're pretty.
Mhm.
But they're very comforting to me. There's a lot going on in the world. Sometimes, I always tell people I work with cows because I like cows better than people, and it's just they something about them, they just comfort me. And so working with them for 10 or 12 hours a day is a pretty okay life in my book, and certainly it's been fun sharing it with all of you guys, and hopefully you have a new appreciation for them too.
Yeah, I would agree. I think these girls are adorable, and I absolutely love them as well. Farmer Nicole, thank you so much for your passion for the dairy industry, for taking such good care of these girls, for providing us a very healthy, nutritious dairy product. We need dairy in our diets. It's really important, and obviously, good animal care is important too. And you're clearly doing both. In addition to supporting your community, you're working with your local 4-Hers. You're providing a neat opportunity for local college kids for a job opportunity. It's just all around. You're clearly a great asset to your community and the environment and the community. So thank you so much for being a great host farm this year, letting us take this virtual step on your farm today and get to meet you and the girls. It's been a lot of fun. And before we tune off, is there anything else you wanted to share with us just before we say goodbye?
I just thank you all very much for following along with my girls. It's been fun. I think that these guys, for the most part, enjoyed getting their picture taken and giving you guys the updates. It was fun. So from Shine and Demi and Diane and Capri, thank you very much. And we'll hopefully see you guys next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We hope to see you in the program next year at discoverdairy.com/adopt. And we look forward to seeing you then. Take care, everybody. Bye. All right.